Alright, today we are going to go up the Parker Trail and do a loop. And it's a beautiful day at Mount Monadnock. Peter is coming. And Caroline. Okay, this is the Parker Trail, the entrance. And we go past the reservoir and there's a really nice little waterfall here. And we head on down the trail. So the Parker Trail is nice, wide open, going through the woods. You can see the yellow blazes that we follow as we're going along the trail. We will be coming back in on this junction when on our return loop. Now, how is this for a glacial erratic? We call it Caroline's Rock. And you got a little stream down here. There's a bridge. Here's a nice little stream with a bridge. I don't think there's any trolls underneath it. There's a nice little pool to dabble your feet if you needed to. You get a wonderful variety of growth, ferns, toadstools, all that sort of stuff. This one is like totally flat. Could be a plate for an elf. All sorts of other ferns. There's stone walls all through the woods here. It shows it was a farmed country. We're always crossing them and recrossing them. So this is our trail junction. We're leaving the Parker Trail and going up to Cliff Walk. And so we've got a sign here. But I think it's missing one on one side. So we will walk around the other side and see what we can find. There we go. Cliff Walk. And then we leave the Parker and go up. This section of the trail is marked with C's on the rocks and white diamonds. So we're changing our trail markers. So we've got a really nice set of stairs here going up. Here is the base of the ladder, and I'll zoom in. You can see it up there, one of the white diamonds. And we get to climb that. So we just climbed up the steps in the ladder, and now I'm going to go up the trail and go up a ladder of rocks. And then we continue along the trail, up along the shoulder here. So here, we're walking along just sort of inside from the edge, and eventually we'll get to some lookouts. It's cloudy today, so you can't see too much out there. You can see how the woods have changed from the deciduous to the pine trees. Here we've got some big lichen, big petals of lichen on the rocks. And they're all up, all along the rocks here, sort of like spilling down the hill. And then our trail goes in through there. We're going up this nice crack here. You can see the C of the trail marking. And then we go over to the left a little bit. And there's my trail companions at the top waiting for me. We're came up here, and then we came around the base of this rock, scrambled up this slab, and then we're going up here, up and up and up to the top. We've got a really good section here. We're climbing up into the sunshine, and we're going to get a viewpoint up at the top. So this is the panorama from the top of that scramble. Definitely worth it. This is the reverse view of the view up from 124. You can just see that little bridge over the swamp there, down on the bottom right-hand corner. I don't remember what the name of the pond is, but if you're driving on 124, you get a beautiful view there. Alright, we've got a really cool big hook tree here that's just near the trail junction. Hello Rock, the trail down to Hello Rock, and then we're going up on the cliff walk. And we can just see a sign up here. It says where we're going. So here, is this a scenario of the tree holding up the rocks, or the rocks holding up the tree? Walking up through the trees here. Velvet cushions. How's that for a carpet? And then we walk further up and more cushions. And then it opens up. And we're going to get a viewpoint. A little bit. We get some sunlight through the trees here. Carolyn, you got to come out here. This panorama is something. Look at that. Come back around again. This is one of the best views on the mountain. How beautiful. Isn't that something? Oh. So that lookout that we were just at is Point Surprise. And you're coming up the trail, and you get to this little opening in the rocks. And you go out there, and you get that beautiful view. Now we're going down through the trees a little bit. And trail zigzags and down through the woods. Keep going forward. Carolyn was just pointing out that the big leaf lichen here, the big flakes, change colors as the rock changes color, or the other lichens underneath. So there'll be gray-blue up here, and then they're green in different sections. And then you get different moss. And then the lichens change color again. I think this is mountain laurel mixed in with the blueberries, or with the sun on it. You can see the little pink flowers. And here's another outlook right on the trail. The trail sort of scrambles along the cliff here, stepping up and down. And a circle around. And then we'll go up here. You can see how the foliage and the trees have changed from the deciduous stuff into the low pine that gets blasted with the winter storms. There's some more of that pretty pink flowers. We're just at the junction of the cliff walk and the Lost Farm Trail, and we're going to go down that way. And
it's a very good story.
The sign
you guys up the summit?
is 1.7, and that's where we're heading.
So did you come up Lost Farm?
So we've just come down off these rocks here, coming down the trail, and we've got all these great big leaf plants we're walking through now. And we continue on the trail. This is the Lost Farm Trail, and we're just continuing working our way down the mountain. Okay, we've come down the slope here a bit, and just having a little break. Here's my pack, Carolyn. Impatient Mr. Keep going forward, and we'll keep going forward. So we're still making our way down, 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 down. You can just see Peter up there ahead on the trail. And we're coming down the trail here. I think it's the last downhill before we get down to the Parker Trail, and you can hear a stream flowing. Sounds sort of like wind in the trees, but it's definitely a stream or some water. When they built the trail, they built all these beautiful stepping stones going up, and you can come back down. And we're just near a stone wall. They might have borrowed some from the stone wall to make the stepping stones. And you can hear the stream in the background. There's boardwalk. Not quite the Monopoly boardwalk, but there's boardwalk in the woods. So now we're coming down, back down to the junction. We've almost completed our loop. Parker Trail, park headquarters, a little bit more than half a mile. It's nice to have a big wide open highway of a trail on the way back. So now we're in the last stretch, just walking down to the reservoir and the waterfall. We've got this really cool waterfall here. And the trail walks right past it. Over the bridge here. Now we're just walking back through the car park. We made it, unpacking and going to fall over.